Coming up on today's show, I have some good news and I have some bad news to get to ahead of Sunday's AFC Championship Game. I'll tell you exactly what you need to know coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us here on the Chiefs Report. I got a little challenge for the Kingdom. I want to make sure you are a part of this journey that we're on, this movement here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report, as we are gaining subscribers left and right. And I want to get to 66,500 subscribers before kickoff on Sunday. We need just over 300 to reach that next milestone for daily news and rumors, live shows every week, watch parties throughout the playoffs, in addition to our Q&A mailbags and breaking news. You got to be subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. If you love the Chiefs, this is the channel for you. If you're a real Chiefs fan, you got to be subscribed. Sub now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and we'll get started with today's show. Let's start with the good news for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says that corner Jaylen Watson finished up Saturday's game against the Houston Texans in good shape, his first live game action since October, and he is on the right track moving forward from here. Here's more from Big Red. He actually came out of that feeling good. Pete, referring to Pete Sweeney of SB Nation. That's one of the positives that you can come out with Jaylen. He's fresh from the injury, and you hope he cannot have the swelling that was taking place before and still function at a relatively high speed during the game. I thought he did that. I thought he sustained when given that opportunity. So that's very good news that Jaylen Watson looks good to go after his first game back. You wondered if there would be a setback or anything. Doesn't appear to be the case at all. What we saw from Jaylen Watson was very good in his first game back. He had one tackle. He had one pass breakup. Pro Football Focus gave him an overall defensive grade of a 71.2, which is pretty solid. He did not allow a single reception, which also means he didn't give up any yards either. So he was locking down. He was doing his thing there. And for his first game back, he played a pretty high snap rate, about 59% of the Chiefs' defensive snaps in the win against the Houston Texans on Saturday. So with that said, with Watson coming off of a solid performance, in good health, I would have to think that as he takes this next step forward from here, that this game against the Buffalo Bills, he ought to be close to a 100% snap count this week. Barring any setbacks, you should see Jaylen Watson at full speed. I know the line for this game has kind of tinkered around. I believe it opened with the Bills half a point. As of the time of this recording, the Chiefs are favored by about 1.5. If you're a gambling man like myself, if Jaylen Watson's full speed, you need to jump on one of these bets of the Chiefs covering 1.5, because I think that's very favorable for Kansas City. With having Watson at full strength, I would think the Chiefs realistically could win this game by 3 or more potentially as far as that goes. Watson, in the 6 games he played this season prior to the injury, he was having a career year with 6 pass breakups, 32 tackles on the season, and we saw a significant drop-off when he went down with that injury to that number 2 corner outside spot. And even in this game this past weekend, when he wasn't out there and we saw Najee Johnson play, it wasn't too good. In fact, Watson was a hell of a lot better than Najee Johnson was. You compare the numbers. Let's tell you what Johnson did. He had 4 tackles. He allowed a passer rating of 118.8, 3 catches, 38 total yards, and he played 50% of the snaps. So, based on those numbers there, we ought to be very thankful to have Jaylen Watson back into the fold, and hopefully that means less of Mr. Johnson as far as that goes. Do you believe in Jaylen Watson? Do you think he's going to step up and get the job done for the Kansas City Chiefs this week? Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know. Type B for Believe. D for don't, chime in the comment section below. We'll get to the bad news in a moment, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Playoff football is here. I've had some great memories going to NFL playoff games over the years. Got to take my dad to the Chiefs-Steelers game a few years ago. Had a fantastic time, and we made memories for a lifetime. You can, too, getting tickets through Game Time, folks. And here's all you got to do. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat. See if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. You can customize your spot as well and check out their seat views, so you can get that 3D effect to find the best seat for you. Game Time offers the lowest price guaranteed, or else Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code, CHATSPRTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets. Lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. All right, let's get to the bad news for the Kansas City Chiefs ahead of this weekend's game against the Buffalo Bills. Clete Blackman has been named the head official for this Sunday's game at Arrowhead. And if you don't know much about Blackman, that's where we come in to tell you why this is not a good thing for Kansas City that he's officiating this game. Patrick Mahomes has a career record of 6-5 in games called by Blackman. The last of those was the infamous Christmas Day loss to the Las Vegas Raiders a season ago, where the Chiefs lost 22-14. And to make matters worse, of all the officials in the National Football League, Mahomes, his worst record of any ref is when, his second worst anyway, is when Blackman is officiating. The only one that Mahomes has a worse record is when Brad Allen is officiating. So we went from Clay Martin last week, who Mahomes had never lost a game that he had called, to now the polar opposite with Blackman getting the call to do this game. Now, comparably speaking, on the other side, it's not just the numbers not favoring Patrick Mahomes, but they favor Josh Allen. Get this. Josh Allen has a 6-2 record all time in games called by Blackman. And there was a game even recently, December 29th, when the Bills demolished the New York Jets 40-14. So let's get to know Clete Blackman a little bit more. He's spent 16 seasons in the NFL as a referee. Prior to that, he was in the Big 12 Conference. He officiated Super Bowl 50, so he has done these playoff games before. And his day job, by the way, he is a personal injury attorney at Carlson Blackman LLP in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm not telling you where you can find him and write some letters, call him if the game doesn't go our way. What I'm telling you is if the game does go our way, that's where you can find him. Got it? All right. I don't want to get sued. Let's look at the penalty numbers for the Chiefs since 2018. And a lot of people would talk about, man, the Chiefs get all the calls headed their direction. Well, not according to actual data, as they're first in total penalty yards since 2018, first in total penalty margin. They are 32nd in offensive penalty committed EPA and 31st in defensive penalty EPA. Bottom line, folks, at the end of the day, all I want is a fairly officiated game. I'm not asking for Blackman to go out of his way to give calls to the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't need it. We don't need that. We just need a fairly officiated game. And I am sick and tired of this narrative that's out there that the Chiefs get all the calls, that Roger Goodell and the NFL have everything scripted for the Kansas City Chiefs, that they want Mahomes and Kelsey and Taylor Swift and all that to be involved in the Super Bowl. They want to hand it to them on a silver platter. I'm sick of it. It's a bunch of BS, all right? It's just simply not true. And here's the other matter in this, folks. For as much bitching as there is about the Chiefs getting all the calls, have you guys watched the Buffalo Bills games? The Bills and Josh Allen, they get just as many calls, if not more so, than the Kansas City Chiefs do. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any griping. I don't want to hear any complaining. The Chiefs are going to take care of business. We don't need the officials to help them. We just don't need them to stand in the way. Call a fair game. That's all I'm asking for. Do you trust the officials? That's a big ask. Weigh in, let us know. Type Y for yes, in for no. Do you trust the officials? Weigh in and let us know. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the latest happenings on your favorite team throughout the playoffs here on the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.